Peace. What's up? So this is the review recap for Queen of the South, Season 5, Episode 5. And the episode is titled Más Dinero, Más Problemas. So to me, I didn't even have to look that one up. That looked like more money, more problems. So, okay. This episode, it was a struggle to even watch this episode. I wasn't feeling it like that, but I got through it. So, all right. Starts off at Teresa's house. Some man comes in and drops all these duffel bags full of cash on the floor. And the bags had a note from Boaz saying, Hefa, good luck with your bank thing, Boaz. So Teresa said, is this a joke? And Kellyanne said, oh yeah, by the way, the banker called and said they can't move any more dirty money until they move the last laundered money. And Teresa said, why you didn't tell me till today? And Kellyanne said, I'm so sorry. The guy called me while I was at the OBGYN. So then they said they got too much money. Like, it was like because Boaz gave that money or whatever. So since Boaz gave that money, it's like now we got too much money. Like, I don't get it, but okay. So so she said, we have to spend it. How do we spend it? And then Kellyanne made a joke about like buying all these waterfront properties. So I don't get that part, so I'm gonna move on. So Oksana wants to meet. So she meet up with Oksana, the Russian lady, Miss Mo Problems. That's the in the title, Mo Money, Mo Problems. She got Mo Problems as usual. So she said she had a problem because she was messing with this guy from Europe named Simon Durant, and she sold him some high-end Molly's for a painting, because he's like a painting thief or whatever. He's like a thief in Europe, and so she sold it for the painting, but the painting was fake, and this was Kostya Molly, but I guess she planned to sell it to him and then sell the painting because she was saying how paintings are easier to get rid of than dirty money or whatever. How stupid do that sound? Like, I don't understand what they be thinking that like who they talking to. So a painting is a stolen million. It was probably $15 million, that painting. That's easier to get off than cash. Okay. So anywho, turned out that the painting was fake, and so now she gonna be short to Costa because he still had somebody who was supposed to buy that Molly or whatever. So she asked Teresa, can I get back the shipment I sold to you? Teresa said it's already sold. And then Oksana said, if Kostya finds out I went behind his back, he'll kill me. All dramatic. And that was it, I think, for that. Yeah, because that's not my problem. Like, and they know Teresa always trying to save somebody. Like, that lady almost got Teresa killed for real, because remember in the beginning of the season when she was talking to them people saying Costa had a problem with Teresa, but she ain't never go back and tell Teresa that in her ear, like, yo, my cousin got a problem with you, you know, trying to save her. I don't know. It's just crazy that she coming to Teresa with them problems. So the next scene, Boaz talking to some guy in Miami. I don't remember seeing him before. A little black, thin type of dude with a box. Maybe he Haitian, Jamaican, Dominican, I don't know. But he brought Boaz some money in a suitcase, and he is like, soon we can start copping double that of the work, you know. So, because it looked like Boaz must front him. Boaz front him the drugs, and then he give, you know, he sell it and come bring Boaz back his money. So he's saying it went fast, so he gonna start copping double. And Boaz was like, remember I told you, you know, basically be easy. Like, don't try grab too much and then you be sitting on a shipment or whatever. He's like, basically like, don't get too big for your britches. And then he asked Boaz, you want to count the money? And Boaz like, I know what $100,000 look like. He's like, plus I don't think you dumb enough to cross me. Then he's just looking all devious. but George, dumbass, popped up. King George. So his annoying self walked in, and he came back to Boaz. Boaz like, what you doing here? And he like, yeah, I'm doing some jobs in Miami because New Orleans too hot because of the Lafayette investigation or whatever. So that's it. He's there. So they went back to Teresa and Oksana, and you know she under pressure or whatever, and the girl Oksana. So she pacing back and forth like trying to figure out like, so maybe I could, you know, do this or do that, like dry begging, you know. And my thing is, why you even still in there? Like Teresa, she way too soft. Like, why is this lady still in here talking about her problems? Like, get her out of there. So Teresa said she'd lend her the money, and she could tell. She was like, she could tell Kostya that Teresa wanted to buy it for double the cost, and so then whoever he had been trying to sell it to. So then the girl like, yeah, but he gonna want the money, and Teresa said, yeah, I'll lend you the money, and so they called. Oksana called Kostya, and then she hung up the phone all looking scared and stuff. And Teresa was like, what happened? And she was like, he said it's already sold and it's due, the shipment is due in 2 days. So that's it. Like, yeah, that's it. So like I said, that's not Teresa's problem, but she making it her problem, so that's her choice. So back to George and Boaz. So George said he's happy for what Boaz did to Lafayette. Like they sitting like at the bar talking on a heart to heart or whatever. So Boaz, so George starts talking about, yeah, I'm glad that you did that, man. After what he did to Javier, you know, blah blah blah, and he said I would have done the same thing. Like, first of all, no, you wouldn't, George. So shut up. Like, you not hard as Boaz. Like, I don't care who you think you are. So you went and went against Teresa and did nothing. So, and Boaz know that. That's the thing with me. Like, what you take just because he got a Mexican accent that he's stupid? Like, he know you. Like, whatever. Anyway, so anyway, he said the judge deserved what he got, and then George like, Teresa shouldn't have came down on you all hard like that over the judge after what he did to Javier. And he's like, man, ain't you still mad? Ain't you still steaming about that, man? Like, he just, like, you could tell he trying to get it out of him. So Boaz like, nah, Teresa didn't kill George. And then he's like, Heifer didn't kill George. And then, I mean, not George, Javier. And then he said, and I miss my primo every day. But Teresa did not kill him. But maybe my heart hurt too much to be mad. So that was a little emotional part or whatever. But be quiet, George. So now it's Teresa, James, and Pote. And Teresa talking about, we have to help her get the money. And Pote like, in Germany? And James like, how we know she ain't gonna snake us, basically. She tried to snake her Kostya, her own cousin. So then Teresa say, we don't know, but if we lose her, we lose Kostya. So that's supposed to be the reason why they gonna go all the way to Germany and go put their life on the line to help this lady. So Oksana come in. Teresa told her they're gonna meet up with Durant, the one who gave her the fake painting. And Oksana said, if Kostya find out, he'll kill us both. And Teresa talking about, we going to Berlin. So that's your dumbass fault, Teresa. So in Berlin, the only way they could get close to Durant is to have a stolen art piece in their possession that they're going to try to sell him or whatever. That's the only thing that would make sense to meet up with him. So that's the plan, that they're going to try to get a piece of art. So now it's back to George and Boaz. And Boaz, they outside dancing with some girls. George like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. Like, he just be doing extra. So suspicious. So he went in the house, and he walking through the house, looking around, talking about, what you hiding, Boaz? He's spying through the house and stuff like that. So Boaz ended up walking in on him, like right when he was looking a little sneaky. He wasn't like exactly in the middle of nothing, but he wasn't going to the bathroom, you know. So Boaz came up like, yo, what you doing? And then George came up with some story like such and such and such. So then Boaz like, come with me. So then they went in the room and Boaz snorted some coke. Then he had George snort some coke. And that was that. So now you see they're back in cut back to Berlin, and Teresa and Kelly and probably Pote and they walk into this really high-end hotel. I think it was the Omni. I don't know if I'm not sure if they said the name, but it might have been the Omni. So they walk in the hotel, and it's $70,000 a night at that hotel. So they got a room. So they was on their way up to their room. So later that day, Kelly Ann is sitting with this bald head man at the table. He's the owner. He turned out he's the owner of the hotel. So she just busting it up with him at the table and stuff, flirting a little bit. And then you just hear all these shots, automatic shots. And then they put some gas around, whatever kind of gas, and like cloudy gas or whatever. And then some ninja bulls came in dressed like ninja, kind of came in, took the paint in on some Mission Impossible stuff, and left. So of course that was my man James. So he went and took the painting to Teresa and Pote. So that's that. So also Teresa called George, and George said it looked like Boaz is loyal. He not doing nothing shiesty or whatever. And Teresa basically said just keep watching him. So now keep in mind now back to Germany. They have the painting that they stole. So now they could meet up with the Bull Durant. Because remember, he's the one who gave Oksana the fake painting for the Mollies or whatever. So they get to the warehouse or whatever, and Teresa and Oksana go in, James and Pote waiting outside. So they got brought into this room to meet with him. And he like a weirdo looking bull with a bald head, white dude. And so when Oksana introduced Teresa Mendoza, then he like, oh, I heard of you, basically in the streets. And then he asked Oksana how she liked her painting. And Oksana was like, I found a perfect place for it or whatever. She looked all suspicious. And so then he starts telling some boring story about this mask on the wall. Kind of trying to play Teresa because she's from Mexico. And he won that mask in a bet with a cartel billionaire. And he said the mask is worth 9 million euros. And I looked that up, and in US dollars, that's $10,928,871. So that's like 11 mil for that little mask. So anyhow, so then he just said something about, I'm reluctant to let it go. Maybe you could convince me. Talk about the mask to Teresa. I was lost on that part. And so then he asked Teresa, how you came across that Van Gogh? And she told him, somebody owed me a debt. And so when he wasn't feeling with how they was talking, so he hit like a button, and all like they had like doors just start locking, lock, 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 clink, clink, clink. And so then he sat down and looked at them. He was like, all right, now tell me why y'all really here. Da da da. Then it went to a commercial or whatever. So that's that. So then it's still on that scene. And he said, tell me why you really here. Teresa said, I want to buy the Molly Oksana sold you. He said, so you don't want to sell the Van Gogh? And she said, I still need to sell the Van Gogh, but I want the Molly too. And so he pulled out a pill case and pop a Molly. Talking about you care to sample the product first. So I guess he popped Molly's. High-end Molly's. Okay. So soon as he popped the Molly, he on right now. Like, he on right now. So he stand up, he acting weird. He looking at Teresa like he interested in her or whatever. So then he sweating. Like, he just popped the Molly like 30 seconds ago. So he walk up so Teresa started calling herself being sexy. And he was like, She was like, how much you want for the Molly? And he was like, I might give you a discount if you play your cards right or whatever. So then Teresa started trying to look sexy. Like, she started playing with her little chest bone. I was like, okay. So he was all sweating, and she walk up on him playing with her chest bone, like, and then when she get close to him, then she just sock him or hit him in his nose real hard. Blood came out. Then they grabbed his gun and they got the gun on him. So now she said, we want the Molly back. And he said, impossible. I traded it to Bashira, some Nigerian smuggler. And Teresa was like, call him. So that's a side note. So now back to George and Boaz. So George wake up like on the patio from a drunk party night, and he hear Boaz on the phone saying, bring him to me. We'll see what he knows. So George say, what's up, Boaz? Boaz said, I got it under control. So then Boaz's cousin Angel end up coming. They sitting down having a drink, just Boaz and his cousin, and they toast to Javier. Then Boaz say, Teresa sent a pinche gringo to spy on me. She's having Colombian shipments sent straight to New Orleans now, bypassing them. And like she trying to push us out. And so he was like, I knew soon as this gringo got here or whatever. So then George came up, did his little annoying John, tried to introduce himself and stuff. After he left, Angel was like, that's him? And then Boaz said, yeah, he got the face of a dumbass, but he not dumb as he look, so keep an eye on him. So now back to Teresa, Pote, and Durant, and them. They standing out in like a parking lot waiting for the bull Bashira to come, because remember they trying to get the Molly back from him. So and Durant had told them before that the bull Bashir is crazy. And Teresa was standing there. She was fly today. Excuse me, Teresa. She had this black tight something, these pants, man. You know her stuff costs a lot. You know she got that bread, but she just looked good. She had these fly boots on and this little white blazer, John, because you know she always wear white, so she had to throw that on. But it looked real good. So anyway, the bull come up, Bashira, and he like acting crazy. He like, so y'all want to pay that much for some Molly? Y'all must be desperate. He say, so I want triple the price. And she said, Teresa said, you already agreed on an amount. I won't negotiate. And then he says, that what happened to Rocco de la Pena? Maybe you killed him. And just one thing led to another. Then Oksana just got in her bag and was like, we not leaving without my Molly. Like, they came there to help you and you gonna set it off and you know you got a little handgun? Like, I don't care for her. So when she got all hyped like that, the bull Bashir went to go pull out his gun like, who you talking? And James was posted somewhere, so James shot him. Then it just started a whole shootout. So James sniping people from the car with his sniping rifle. Pote got his two John, bah, 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 bah. So, like, his jump like, dong, basically. And Teresa shooting, Oksana shooting. So, they killed everybody there, pretty much. So, that's that. And then they got the Molly out the back of the John, and they zipped it open and was like, is that it? And she was like, yeah, that's it. Like, first of all, they ain't even open it and look at the pills, but all right, that's fine. So, then they left. So, on the side note, Teresa ended up going somewhere else. Some boy named Oleg Stavinsky came in. And she had called him for a meeting about moving her business, expanding to Europe, and she introduced him to Oksana. At first, he didn't want to mess with Oksana because Oksana is Russian and he Polish, but then he said, nah, he'd do it because Teresa asked him for business sake, and he said, yeah. So now he let Teresa hook Oksana up on her own thing, and so that was that. So James and Teresa out on the balcony on a little side note. And James started asking, like, you expanding to Europe? I thought you said you had too much money. And blah, 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 blah. And then he said something about basically the bank's not working with her. She said, we'll buy the bank then. So, you know, Teresa getting on her super boss, super boss, John. So then they cut to, this pretty much the last scene. Teresa bought that hotel where they stole the painting out of. So that's good business. Like, go ahead and buy you a hotel in Europe, a luxury hotel. Get some bread like that, you know. Even though the man did say earlier that Airbnbs and things like that was putting them hard on their business, but she still could do a lot out of that hotel. So she bought the hotel, and then Kellyanne said she found a top flight lawyer in New York City for Dumas out of New York City. And that was pretty much, oh no, then the last scene, it was Boaz. He had George, he told George come with him, and they went down in this little room and walked in like they had the plastic all around the room. You walk in, it's the black dude from earlier, and he tied up to a chair looking kind of tortured and stuff like that. And Boaz like, yeah, he think I ain't know his plan or whatever, that he had an ulterior motive. They got to be more realistic. Like, I just don't see Boaz saying ulterior motive. He from the streets of Mexico, cartel, you know. I doubt if he got his master's or whatever. But all right, so then he shot he said he felt like the bull was doing something and, up to no good or whatever. So he shot him in front of George and then walked out. And then George was just, because some blood went on George. George was sitting there all shocked like, and then it went off. So that was it. So it was a bunch of stuff that happened, but it wasn't about nothing, Just a little filler episode, I guess. So that's that. I'll be back as soon as I can to do episode 6 so I could be all caught up. I might get to it tonight. So, all right. Peace, y'all.